Howdy folks, it's your friend Dominic. Ever since I was younger, I've always wanted to have my own fishing show. So here it is. In today's episode, I've got a real cool piece coming your way. Earlier, I caught myself a beautiful inland rainbow trout. Now that I've caught it, I'm going to clean it and I'm gonna cook it. So stay tuned, let's check it out. This installment of Fishing with Dom is brought to you by Shifty Seasoning. Next time you're in the kitchen, use Shifty's. You'll be glad you did. I hope everybody's been doing well. I'm in beautiful northern Michigan, late October. This is one of my favorite times of the year to be up here. The colors are changing, the scenery's beautiful as always, and the fish are biting. I was up here originally targeting smallmouth bass, but I ran into a pod of rainbow trout when I was out there fishing crankbaits along the ledge, and I got him sitting on ice. He fought really hard. It was a very good battle. You know, this is a very solid, very nice trout. This is a very nice trout, that's for sure. And it's not the biggest one I caught. I'm happy I kept this one out of all of them, just because I'm a firm believer in selective harvest. And what I'm going to do is set down our trouty friend on my cutting surface. I'm going to move the cooler. And then we just pull that right there. And look at what we've got going on here. We've got the trout, and I've got my knife. This is a brand new knife. It has my name carved on it, engraved on it. This is a wedding present for ordaining my buddy Henry's wedding. Shout out to Henry and Lena. Congratulations. I appreciate this knife, and the first time I'm really going to use it is to clean this trout. It's a whole fish, but it's just that. It's just a whole fish. We're not going to do anything too crazy to it. I'm going to make a first cut right here, and it's going to go behind this fin, and it's just going to go all the way through the fish. And then the next cut will come in down here, and then I will zip it all the way up. I'll gut the fish, and then maybe because it's a little bit larger, maybe I'll steak it into two pieces, but let's go for it. Okay. Gonna make sure I roll the sleeves up for this one. I've got my paper plate I'm gonna transport the meat onto. And I found a plastic single-use spork in my van. I'm gonna use this to help me carve out the guts. So we're gonna set that to the side and we're gonna go for it. Okay, so like I said, fold that fin up. Go through just like that. Okay, the head has been taken off. And next we have this lateral cut. And now we're going to take our little spork, and we're just going to scrape out the inside, make sure we get all the kidney off of that back line there. And then, you know what, you always got to make sure you get all of it out. Heck yeah, that's looking pretty darn good. It's this lining along the spine here. You got to make sure you totally lift up. Pretty sure it's the kidney. Get all the blood and everything out of there. And we can worry about the guts when we take care of the head. Now we're going to take the knife and we're going to look at the fish here. And I think I'll cut it just about in half.
Voila, just like that. Look at us go. We have 2 marvelous pieces of super fresh rainbow trout. We're gonna go wash them in the creek, and then we're gonna go trim them up and put them in the skillet. Oh man, I am so excited. Let's do a quick rundown of what I've got going on so far. We're in the kitchen now. We have our trout. We have some butter. I got 2 peppers I brought from the garden. And I've got some generic seasoning with me to zazz it up a bit. But then over here we've got the stovetop. We're just gonna turn that propane on. So once the skillet has had the opportunity to really heat up, we're gonna eyeball it here, and we're gonna give it about 2 tablespoons of butter. Generally, for how we're gonna cook this rainbow trout, you're gonna want to have as much butter as possible, especially with the scales, and you don't want anything to stick to the pan, and the butter gives it a lot of good flavor. Now once that the skillet and the butter have come to a good cooking point, we are going to take our piece of rainbow trout and we're just gonna drop it down in the skillet just like that. Alright, it's been cooking for just a couple of minutes now, and my rule of thumb with fish, try to flip it as few times as possible. So there we go. This side's looking pretty good. We're gonna let the bottom cook. Heck yeah, that's looking really good. Oh yeah. Alrighty. I put some peppers in there. It's been sitting for a while on medium heat. We're gonna flip it one last time. And the heat shut off. There we go. We got ourselves some cast iron, caught, cleaned, and cooked wild rainbow trout. We're gonna let it cool down just a little bit before I dive into it. I'm really excited for it. Once the skillet has cooled down, I'm going to show you what we're going to do here. I've got my fork. I'm just going to eat it out of the skillet. I'm by myself. I'm just going to dive right into the deep end of the pool. And I'm going to show you that you take the skin and you peel it back just like that. You don't eat any of this. I'm just going to set it to the side here. And this is all rainbow trout meat. Very good. We're gonna drop some seasoning on there. And today I'm using Shifties. I like this stuff a lot. The fish very rarely gets more fresh than this, so I'm just gonna dive right in. Oh wow. Holy cow. Look at how nice and white and flaky that is. So cooked. Oh yeah. Oh, damn, this is really good. I know the idea of eating on camera solo like this is kind of different, but hey, it is what it is. Some people are into that. So I guess it'd only be appropriate to actually eat some in front of the camera, so. Oh, that's magnificent. Rainbow trout, in general, taste really good. I think out of a cast iron skillet with peppers and a mix of Shifties on top of this, or whatever cooking seasoning you prefer. But as a meal, this is one of my favorite fish meals to consume. Not only did I catch it myself, I cleaned it, and I cooked it, and I'm eating it. So, thank you, rainbow trout, for biting my lure and giving me this nourishment. I went out on the lake yesterday, and I caught 5 of them. It's an inland northern Michigan glacial lake. The rainbow trout, they were snapping. I was throwing crankbaits off of ledges, and I decided to keep one, responsible selective harvest. I don't believe in taking too many fish, and I don't like seeing it go to waste, and realistically it makes me happier to see the fish back in the water surviving to live another day versus being in my freezer and me eating them. But to each his own. You can do whatever you want. I could keep a lot more fish, but I don't. Yum yum.